Welcome back to episode 5 of the Inside Out Show presented by Carburritos. I'm your host, Connor Kachera, here with Hunter Adam, and we are very excited to wish Wildcat Nation a happy holidays. We have a packed episode for you today. We have updates around the program. We have Swish and Brick as normal. We're back to our regular scheduled programming with Swish and Brick, starting 5. Great interview, our first
Jack
non-player
Gibbs.
interview. That's right.
Yeah, charismatic fellow, that guy. It was
Jack
good
Gibbs.
interview,
So
for sure.
excited to let you guys see that one. And before we kick things off, we want to give you guys a quick message from our sponsors over at Carburritos. Before we get started today, let's hear more about our partners over at Carburritos. Located just south of campus on Main Street, Carburritos is a family-owned and operated casual dining Mexican restaurant. Carburritos offers indoor and outdoor dining options, as well as curbside takeout services. Orders can be placed online at visitcarburritos.com/Davidson.
Well, a lot has happened since we did our last episode in the Bahamas. We've played 4 games, so we've got a lot to cover in
Felt
this
like
one.
a while ago.
It has been a long
that trip
time.
felt like so long ago.
Yeah.
But
It was a complete other world as well, going to the Bahamas.
it was another
just-
world.
Yeah,
We're back. We're back
feels like
in
it wasn't even real.
humble Davidson.
The
yet
hilarious part, once we got back from the Bahamas, like the second day we were back from the Bahamas, it snowed in North Carolina. And I've never seen snow in North Carolina. But going from 30 degrees Celsius weather in the Bahamas to freezing in North Carolina was nuts.
For those of you on the Fahrenheit scale, that's like 80 degrees
Yeah, 80
Fahrenheit
85, yeah.
and
Sorry
30 degrees Celsius. And then it dropped to 30 degrees Fahrenheit here. But now it's like back up to 60s. Like we're back up to great weather. So it's just all over the place.
I don't get it.
Either way, holiday season is upon us. I love the Christmas season. So
Yes,
everyone here is
very much
excited, and we're excited to recap some of our recent games, starting with Charleston Southern, who was our first game back after Atlantis at home. They were playing their best basketball when we played them. They've had an up and down season. They've had some injuries, but without a doubt, they were playing their best basketball when we played them, and we got out of a tough one. We won that game at home.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
They had some really good players on their team. Number 2, their 4-man, felt like he couldn't miss a shot around the rim. He was super athletic.
He's going to be one of the front runners for Player of the Year in that conference.
In the SoCon, they play in the SoCon. Yeah, he was really good, and they had some good guard play. You know, they made a bunch of tough shots. They were a tough team. They were tough.
They caught me by surprise a little bit, especially when you look at their record.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's not a great record, but then when you look into the film and you look into the team, you realize they have injuries. They're trying to figure things out. They're playing a lot of young guys at the start of the year. Then they kind of transitioned to an older lineup, and that really seemed to work for them. So
they come in right into our game after beating Miami. Right? They beat Miami the game before they played us. So they were hot.
Miami, U.
The U.
So it's
and
they're
they
playing.
played
They're still playing
They played
well.
LSU close
to the wire. Yep.
Right the week before that.
Mm-hmm.
So they were coming in thinking that they were going to come in here and roll us, I think. So
we had other plans. That was a great win for us.
We showed out in front of the home fans in Belk for that one. That was tough, but
yeah. And then
that momentum carried us into Charlotte.
Sure did. Battle of the Hornets' Nest.
Battle of the Hornets' Nest.
We were going to have it on set today, but Coach still has it at his house.
Yeah, he's probably just looking at it when he gets up.
I don't blame him. It'd be great if we could just throw it right here.
Yeah, the big ugly thing.
Just imagine it's right here. We got the big ugly Hornets' Nest.
Yeah, but that was
right
great.
Here with us.
That was great. I feel like the community really showed out for that one. We had a lot of students in the arena.
They did. A lot of
Charlotte fans too. They had a couple of chants going.
There was some green in there.
I was surprised about, but yeah, we had a really good turnout from the Davidson fans there, which was great to see.
It's always good to win a rivalry game. Those games they're intense, they're fun. You know they're going to come down to the last round, to the final minute. That's how it always goes. You know, every year we've played them, it's been close games, competitive games. So you knew it was going to be another one of those this year, and figured out a way to pull it out. I was proud of the guys. It was a fun game.
That was great. Yeah, really good.
Then we had kind of the opposite against Detroit.
Detroit Mercy.
We knew coming to the game we're obviously playing really well.
Yeah.
And we knew that they were young. They were a little bit wild. They were up and down. We didn't know exactly how they would play, and we just took them out from the start.
We did.
From the jump, hit them on the tab, and we did not look back. That was a fun game, but in a very different way.
Yes. My favorite part of that game was Michael Katzok.
Yep. Highlight of the game.
Got in the last couple of minutes, and he made the most of it. One catch. I think it was his first time touching the ball. Let it fly. Made it.
Water.
Incredible.
Pure. Bench
going
crazy.
Brock Matheny maybe a month or two ago, also scoring a 3-pointer in the last dead minutes of the game. I don't remember what game that was, but
Yeah. Oh, yes.
yeah, our walk-ons are really getting out there and making
They
the
are.
most of it.
They're
when
making the
out there.
most of it.
Yeah.
And those are the best parts of the game.
Those
That's
are
so much fun.
amazing.
And that might have been the loudest the arena was the whole night too when he hit
Definitely.
that. So
Oh, gosh.
it carries. It's everyone's having a good time. And then unfortunately that leads us to Temple. Which just getting back from Temple, it's
still
not
fresh in our minds.
It is. And it's not like we didn't play well because we played well enough to win that game.
We did.
Which is what makes it so difficult.
Exactly.
We need to find a way to pull those out, defend those leads. When we're leading the whole game like that, there's just a couple plays here and there where
you wish you could have back.
You really do.
Yeah.
And, I think we're definitely going to use this and get better from it, which is at the end of the day, that's what you need most out of these non-conference games.
Exactly.
Obviously, you want to learn from wins, but sometimes you got to learn from losses too. And on the road against an American team, that's a good conference. They're a talented team.
Yeah,
so
very much so.
Obviously, hats off to them. Tip your hat. But that's a game that I think we all know that we need to come out on top, and we're going to as the season progresses. We're going to win those games. So.
Yeah, we got a good couple of days. We're recording this before we play Bethune-Cookman, so we got a good couple of days to watch the film, figure out what we got to get better at, and then get back on the court on Saturday and attack them. By the time you guys are watching this, we will have played that game, so you'll be able to know
hopefully
how
won.
We bounced back. But I think the boys, our team this year, we're quite together, and I feel like we're really locked in on improving on the things that we are deficient at and getting out there and
absolutely
making the most of
it.
So
I'm excited to hopefully transition this into a springboard for the end of conference play with Bethune-Cookman, and then
Eastern Michigan,
into a good Christmas break, and then Eastern Michigan obviously follows that, and use that to go out and hit the ground running for conference play.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm excited. The team's excited.
It's all a learning experience. Yeah,
it sure is. Yeah. And we're going to get better, and we're excited.
Very much. You want to get into the starting five, Swish or Brick? What do you want?
Let's do Swish and Brick, yeah?
Let's do it.
All right.
You start.
What?
You start.
All right. For my Swish is going to be, obviously we're recording this, like you said before, the Bethune-Cookman game this weekend. My Swish is the 12-team college football playoff is starting this weekend.
Yes.
Got some huge matchups. A lot of football. I love college football more than the NFL. We've discussed this.
Very much, yes.
So I'm very excited for this weekend to watch. I mean, it's almost like a March Madness of college football. It's not quite there. I was talking with someone the other day. I was talking with Sox.
Yeah.
And they have brackets that you could fill out for the college football playoff. And he asked me if I filled out a bracket. I was like, no. Like, you only fill out a bracket in March. That's a March Madness thing.
Yeah.
So that might be – I understand what they're doing there. I think – that is a college basketball thing in my mind. So I won't be filling out a college football bracket.
Much easier to predict a college football bracket when there's only 12 teams.
It is a lot easier. Yeah.
64 teams is much more difficult.
Yeah, more upsets. Football's a different sport completely. Yeah. But just the idea of it,
a little bit too.
I am not a fan. I think that should be saved for college basketball. I'm also biased.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah. No bracket for me, but I am looking forward to watching those games and seeing how the tournament unfolds. It's an exciting time. Definitely. First time they're doing it.
Yeah, and Jack Gibbs got into it a little bit in his interview, but Ohio State has a gauntlet to get to.
They do.
The final
Tennessee,
game, so.
Oregon, even Oregon too. Oregon got unlucky too. Penn State's got. Penn State lost in the Big Ten championship and is almost rewarded for it. It's going to be interesting, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to watch it. So. We'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I don't even like college football that much, and I'm excited to sit on the couch and watch some football as well. So
there you go.
Yeah. My Swish, Christmas, obviously. Yep. It's that time of year, It's getting cold outside. Everyone's putting their lights up outside their houses. Mm-hmm. How can you not be happy?
The lights around Davidson are very nice, I will say. The communities around here, they go all out for Christmas. It's fun to see.
Yeah. There was the Christmas in Davidson. Little event that happened maybe a couple of weeks ago, and that looked great. Happy families out there in the streets.
They shut down the whole street for that. That was crazy. You couldn't even drive anywhere. I was trying to get to practice. Trying to get across town. My parents were in town. I was trying to get to their place, and they were literally the streets were shut down. I have never seen Davidson like that before.
Yeah, and Davidson seems like a lovely place to be for Christmas, though.
It is.
Like it's real.
It is. We're really lucky.
Kind of vibe,
it is definitely a holiday. I feel like a holiday movie could take place here.
Without a doubt. Maybe a bit more snow.
Yeah, that's true. That's
movie,
true. They would have to pump in some fake snow.
But definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
the
beautiful
vibes
place
are there for sure.
this Christmas, yeah. Without a doubt.
All right, well, you got a brick.
My brick is finals. Finals, we're recording this on Thursday. Finals finished up on Tuesday. And that whole 4 days, 6 days was a grind. You know, I had to take 2 exams in the exam center, write a couple of papers, finish all of that up. All of the guys on the team were doing the same kind of thing. And it was tough. Sean was on the plane to Temple doing essays and stuff. Hey, Nick Coble. This is Nick Coble, by the way,
There's
guys.
Nick.
Sean was on the plane to Temple, still writing essays. Everything was due at like midnight on the Tuesday, and Sean was grinding on the plane, doing all of that. Everyone seemed like they were pretty stressed leading up to the deadline for finals, but we got through it.
There's a couple people doing last minute work right before the trip, or even going to Philly. So I know, and some people even got extensions. So it's definitely a stressful time, but
especially at Davidson College too.
Yeah.
My
They don't take it lightly here. Yeah,
sometimes
it's a lot of work, but we'll be better off for it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
now it's less of a brick because we're done. It feels good to be done. It's like a big
weight off the shoulders.
Off your shoulders, exactly. So my brick is the NBA because their viewership is apparently not hitting the numbers that they like to see. Their TV ratings aren't quite there these days, and I think there's multiple reasons for that, and the national media has got their speculations on what it could be. I think it really comes down to load management. These players play so many games.
Divas, to be honest. They're divas.
The regular season games don't really mean all that much, which kind of feeds into that. Obviously, with analytics now, the three-point shot is so valuable that teams are just launching threes. I mean, you look at the Boston Celtics. They're shooting an unworldly amount of
40 threes a game.
It's insane. So I don't think the NBA consumer wants to particularly watch that.
No.
The NBA has to do something. I'm not sure I have.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I watched an NBA game, to be honest.
Yeah, I prefer college. I think college, the passion on the court from the players and the fans is unmatched. You don't see that in the NBA unless it's the playoffs. So I'm not sure exactly what they could do, but they're on the hot seat right now nationally for their TV ratings. So we'll see what they can come up with. I don't know if it's moving the three-point line back, which I've heard people say could help. So I don't know what it could be. They obviously tried this NBA Cup thing with the bright courts, but honestly, I didn't watch any of those games either. So I don't know what it could be, but that's my brick for the week.
Yeah, maybe if the Boston Celtics implemented the secondary offense or something like that, it'd give fans something to watch for once.
Yeah, at least Davidson fans would watch. I would watch if they implemented our offense.
Get Steph Curry back in the crack.
Yeah.
That'd be something to see.
That would be great.
Yeah.
All right, with that, do you want to get into our starting five segment? We got a Christmas-themed starting five.
Very exciting.
For all of you guys. Christmas movies.
It's that time of year where you just watch.
Bundle up.
Snuggle up on your couch.
Grab a blanket, grab some popcorn.
Yep.
Grab some Carburitos. And snuggle up and watch a Christmas movie.
Yeah. So
let's see. Is it my turn or your turn? I want to say it's mine.
You can go ahead.
I could be wrong.
I've got some pretty good ones. I'm pretty confident in my draft this week.
Honestly,
I got.
Let's see here. Let's pull up the list.
Got a lot of good picks from my secret insider. She gave me a lot of really good recommendations. I don't watch a lot of Christmas movies, but I got a lot of good movies here. So,
secret insider.
Yes,
I like it. All right, my 1-1 pick. I am going with Elf. Classic, funny, Will Ferrell, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
there's no other Christmas movie that I like better.
Yeah, I love it too. Do you remember last Christmas when Justin? For his church, something to do with his church, dressed up as Elf.
I have the picture somewhere.
I'll get Danny the picture. Maybe we can splice it into the YouTube video. But he looked incredible in his costume, tights on, everything. Had the hat, had the hair.
He had everything. Amazing. He went all out for that. I want to say he even had shoes. He might not have had the shoes.
I think he did have the shoes with the little baubles on the end of them.
Yeah. So
hilarious. Oh my goodness.
that was one of the best Christmas costumes I've ever seen.
Yeah, let's hope he dresses up this year. I might ask him when we finish this up.
That would be fun.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. My first pick, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yep, another
Watched
funny
it
one.
very recently. Heartwarming, family, comedy. Just a lot of silly stuff going on. You know, it's a good laugh to when
It
you're
is.
sitting down with your people.
What's the uncle's name?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know.
I can't remember his name, but he's hilarious. I
Yeah.
think that character is so funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I was wondering
Yeah,
though, what
that's-
is National Lampoon's? I've been like the Christmas Vacation. A lot of people refer to the movie as Christmas Vacation.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
how
understand what the National Lampoon's part is.
Honestly,
I'm
I
still yet
don't
to figure
either.
that out.
I don't either.
That's besides the point. But just putting that out there, if any of you guys know what is going on with that, let me
Yeah,
know.
maybe we can get a producer to
Let me know,
phone in here.
Please. Yeah, I
Oh,
appreciate that a lot.
nothing yet. Okay. Good pick.
Great
I'm
pick.
going with, and that actually takes place. I believe that takes place in Chicago.
Okay.
They film it in Chicago, and I'm going with another Chicago-based Christmas movie, and that is Home Alone,
Oh.
which is also filmed out of Chicago. The
I did
house
not know
is,
that.
is like 30 minutes from my house.
Okay. That's cool.
So that's another one. It's obviously got the funny. It's got the heartwarming, everything. So I think it knocks all the check marks for a great Christmas
definitely.
movie. I just watched it the other night, and I actually liked it even more than I remembered.
Yeah.
So that will be my second pick.
That's a hilarious movie.
Home Alone.
Yeah. That's a good pick. My second pick, I'm going to go with the Jim Carrey version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Mm.
I've watched the Dr. Seuss animated one
Yeah.
recently.
So that was on my list. Does that mean that all How the Grinch Stole Christmas are off the table here?
I don't know. I'd say you can take it because they're two very different movies. I
Okay.
just something about Jim Carrey, the way he does it, the big long Grinch fingers and the way he eats the onion and stuff like that. You see,
Yeah,
and
no,
his
Jim
little
Carrey's hilarious.
his little dog and
Yeah.
stuff. I think there's just something about the way he does it that couldn't really be matched by the heartwarming Disney Grinch version.
That's fair. That's
I kind
fair.
of like it when the Grinch is just a little bit unsettling to look at, because he's the Grinch.
as he should
Makes
be.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good
so
pick.
that's my pick.
All right.
Was that my second pick? That was
So
pick number
my
two?
next pick was going to be How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Obviously, I was thinking the animated version,
Oh.
but I'll maybe save that for a last resort. Now that you took that, I'm going to go with A Christmas Story, another classic.
Never heard of it.
It's like the BB gun.
No. Not a big Christmas movie guy, I have to admit.
Okay.
But no, I've never heard of The Christmas Story.
Okay. Well, The Christmas Story is a classic.
Okay.
I got a little bit of humor. Just feel good.
Yeah,
Just
classic.
I mean, it's a Christmas
Yeah.
story.
Gotta
It
make you feel
explains it
good.
in the title. So
Yeah.
that's going to be my third pick. I know my dad would be happy about that one.
Okay,
He
yeah.
likes that movie.
That's a good one. Looking at my list here, I got to think of a good one to pick. We've knocked all of the top good ones out now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Klaus. You guys know that one?
Klaus?
Klaus. It's newer.
Okay.
It's animated.
Haven't heard of it.
Same kind of thing. Really, just heartwarming.
Okay.
It's really well animated. It's a really cutesy little Christmas movie
Okay.
that I really enjoy. So I'm gonna go with that one for my third pick. Klaus with a
All
K.
right.
Klaus with a K.
Got it. Okay. Like Claus or Klaus?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
All right. We'll get a fact check on
Klaus.
that
I think it's Klaus.
one. Klaus with a K.
Not Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
Got it.
I don't know.
So for my fourth pick, I am going to go with an action movie, Die Hard. I think it's a Christmas movie. I may get some flack here. I'm going to be honest. I've never seen it. So this is kind of a gamble on my part. I've never seen the movie, but I've heard people say it's a Christmas movie, and I've heard people say it's good. So I'm going to trust the opinions of my friends
I believe that.
and relatives who have seen it here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Die Hard as my fourth pick.
That's a pretty good pick, I'd say. I was going to take that fifth because I felt like it's, not Christmassy enough. I was going
Yeah.
to try and get it
Fair.
a bit lower, but going at fourth in the draft, that's must be doing something right for itself. My fourth pick. I've got two here. I don't know. I'm chopping it up between the two.
Yeah, I have two too.
Love Actually.
Also, don't know that one. I've never seen that.
More of a romance movie.
Okay.
Obviously, it's in the title, Love Actually, but
Yep.
it's also set around Christmas time, and it's just like a heartwarming, two people meet each other,
Yep.
meant to be kind of romance movie. You probably sit down on the couch and watch it with your girlfriend,
Okay.
something like that.
Is that one of the ones that the insider told you about?
She honestly told me all of the movies I have here.
Okay.
She gave me the whole list. But yeah, Love Actually.
All right. Good pick.
That's my fourth pick.
I'm also deciding between two. I don't know what to do here.
I hope you don't take the last one I have on my list because I've only got one left on my list. So
Okay. I feel like you don't have this one on your list that I'm about to take. This is more of like a great childhood memory than a movie that I would still watch. Although I think I would still watch it. And maybe it's not even a movie, but I'm still going to take it. A Charlie Brown Christmas.
yeah, all yours.
This is maybe a little bit unique. Growing up, we would watch. I mean, Charlie Brown has like all the different holidays. We would watch them all, but Charlie Brown Christmas, one of my favorites, and I think I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't take it in the fifth spot. So I'm going a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah, that's pretty good. My family would always watch the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or Home Alone on Christmas. So those are my memories. That's why I took them up early in the draft.
Yep.
But for my last pick, then, controversial. We get to this in the Jack Gibbs episode, but the Polar Express.
Horrible.
It's a classic for some reason. I watched it recently.
It's scary.
I feel like the whole point of the Polar Express was to scare little kids into being good. Because it's just kind of a nightmarish, fiendish kind of fever dream.
Yeah.
Don't really know what's happening throughout the entirety of the movie. Quite unsettling. I feel like if you're a kid watching that, you're like, oh, I've got to be good.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I mean,
I'm going to go to
how
the
many
North
times
Pole.
how many times have you watched it? Because I've only seen it one time, and that was all I needed to see.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it as a kid. I think I may have, and just got like trauma from it and blocked it out of my memory. But I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I was shocked the entire time. I didn't know what was happening, what was going on. It was scary, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting pick there, then, for your fifth pick.
Yeah, well, I was just kind of thinking it's a classic, You
Yeah.
can't really mention Christmas movies without mentioning the Polar Express.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's a movie that I am definitely against. I watched a Christmas movie. We were just talking about this. There's a new Christmas movie.
Christmas movie.
On
Like
Netflix.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called Carry On, which is really just a movie that happens to take place on Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. Brand new on Netflix. It was #1 on the charts, so I watched it
Yeah.
when we flew out to Philly on the plane. And I was not particularly impressed.
No.
It was pretty average.
Not Christmassy enough either for a movie
Yeah,
that's
there really hasn't been.
Christmas
I
Eve.
mean, maybe you mentioned there's a couple new ones on your list, but I feel like there hasn't been too many new
No.
good Christmas
Yeah, I
movies.
feel like the
I don't know if
spirit
they're
of
trying
Christmas
too
is dying
hard.
out, maybe.
I wouldn't go that far. Maybe in the
Maybe,
movie industry,
Hollywood.
but I think the classics are holding it up strong
Of
still.
course.
I mean, they're still.
They're classics for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we have to wait like 15 years, and then the ones that are coming out now will be
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
because those will
hopefully.
be classics.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, I'd agree
We'll
with that. Yeah. Well, let us know in the polls what you think who is winning this starting five draft. I think I've taken this one out. I had some pretty good ones.
No, the Polar Express might weigh you down a little bit.
I feel like the Polar Express is the kind of movie that has a very niche fan base
Yeah.
that just love it. So I'm hoping to kind of tap into that a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm still pretty confident in my
I think
draft,
having Elf
so.
at the top of mind really helps. I think that's an overwhelming majority of people love the movie Elf. They just see that, and hopefully they'll click on my side. We'll see. Decide.
Let us know.
Let us know, and we'll see who wins. We'll recap next time.
Yep. What do we do now? We haven't done this in a while. We don't really know how to transition into the next part.
I think we wrap it up now.
Okay, cool. Oh, isn't the interview with Jack Gibbs?
Oh, that's right.
We are going to now go to our interview with
That's
Jack Gibbs.
right.
Third all time and scoring at Davidson College.
I mean, absolute stud. Now on
absolute
our
stud.
staff.
Charismatic guy.
He is.
Ohio State fan.
Skill development for us
Yep.
on scout team.
Scout team
Getting
killer.
buckets every day. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about it all. So tune in. We're excited to welcome Jack Gibbs on.
Yep.
We now welcome Jack Gibbs onto the podcast, our first non-teammate guest this year. Jack, it's an honor to have you on. Welcome to the show. How are you feeling?
I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Let's put the mic up.
I've been
there
looking
we go.
forward to this for a long time, ever since this podcast started, so I'm fired up.
You have. You've been talking about it for a while, so we're excited to get you on, talk a little bit about your career. your coaching career as well, and maybe some other fandom, Ohio fandom teams and football if we got time. So with that being said, I think we're going to start off just covering your playing career. Obviously, you are a Davidson legend around here. Your name has been mentioned once or twice on this podcast already. I'm sure a lot of the fans know who you are, but what is one of your favorite Davidson memories from your time playing here on the court?
I think my sophomore year getting an at-large bid, first time it had been done at Davidson. The game, we played LaSalle in the quarterfinals of the A-10 tournament, and Tyler hit a running left-handed floater to game winner, which kind of sealed our at-large ticket. So that was a pretty exciting game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, try and keep it up a bit close to your mouth. But we're going to keep it on the topic of memories. Now, coaching-wise, what has been your favorite moment when you've been coaching Davidson now? Because you've been doing that for a number of years. So you got any thoughts on that?
Outside of scout team?
Outside of scout team. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But yeah.
Probably beating Alabama. That was my first year on staff. Weren't supposed to have the game. Game got canceled. We had Alabama and went down there, and that was a fun game. Got the win, top 10 team. That was probably, and then
Goodness.
Playing Michigan State in the NCAA tournament was pretty cool too.
So then what surprised you the most? Being a coach, transitioning from the player side to the coach side, is there anything that really surprised you that you didn't realize was a responsibility of a coach, or was a little bit more difficult or different than you originally expected coming into it?
I didn't realize all the work that went in behind the scenes. I don't know where I thought these scouts came from, but just all the work that the coaching staff does to make sure that every little detail is thought of and ahead of time and then executed in practice. I didn't realize the time that took. That was probably naive of me.
Yeah, it is a lot. You guys do a lot, and the managers too, the whole staff. Everyone does do a really great job. So we appreciate that and all your hard work, Jack.
Thank you.
How about Coach McKillop? You played for him for 4 years. Obviously, there's been a lot of great stories that we've heard from alums coming back, especially in the summertime, telling us, do you have a specific Coach McKillop story that sticks out to you in your head?
I'm not sure what stories I can tell on this podcast.
You can tell them all. You can tell them all.
There was one game we were playing. We were down at halftime. Probably should have been up. And we were over there in the locker room. And there's laundry baskets were still there. And Coach thought it was a good idea to sit down on one of those and almost fell. We're down. It's pretty tense. I started laughing. I was like, I couldn't help. Everyone else is like stone-faced. And I thought it was really funny. So that was probably a very fun memory of Coach that kind of wasn't like on court.
So were you still kind of I wouldn't want to say troublemaker, but what was your mentality on the team? Obviously now you like to joke around. You like to keep things light around the locker room. Were you the same way in college? Is that kind of how you like to be?
I definitely wouldn't say troublemaker.
Okay.
But I did like to keep things light, always smiling. Basketball, and especially college basketball, is such a stressful kind of thing. Everyone's so serious, so kind of just trying to be a light within that was always a specialty of mine.
Okay, I have been getting some stick recently. We did the Davidson all-time draft last podcast or the podcast before, and I've been getting a bit of hate for taking you number 2 overall.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I've been hearing it from different people. They're not too happy with my pick. They thought you should have gone lower. What do you have to say to those people, perhaps?
Yeah. I mean, it's
What
a
are you
guards
thinking?
game.
It is, yes.
You
Davidson
have-
offense especially.
You have Steph Curry, the greatest scoring player ever here.
Yeah.
So you want someone to combat that.
That was my mentality when I was doing
Yeah.
the draft as well. I thought Steph Curry's here. He's going to score a lot of points. Jack Gibbs, I see him in practice every day, probably going to score a lot of points as well.
I'll give up a lot of points too.
Yeah, that was also.
But my mentality was score more than I gave up.
Yeah.
Because then if everyone does that, you win the game.
Yeah.
No, I think that was a good pick, honestly.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
No problem. I think your team definitely would have won.
Yeah, I think in the polls, Connor had like a 10% more of the votes than me. So
That's the Steph
I was
Curry
a little bit.
multiplier.
That is the Steph
But
Curry multiplier.
rightfully
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Rightfully
understandable,
so.
understandable.
But yeah, we'll chalk it up to that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had some good defenders on my team. I don't remember who exactly I picked. I think I had Luka Brakovic in there.
Oh.
So if Steph Curry's getting by you on the perimeter, you got Luka standing there blocking a shot at the rim. You don't really have to worry about it.
And he would get by me often.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we see it in practice every day. Yeah.
There's obviously you know this, but for the people at home, there's a term we use around the program called a jack charge. And you want to explain to people what it is and why it's named after you? It's called a Jack Charge. It's named after Jack Gibbs, and there's a reason for it. So I'm going to let you use this time to explain that and then why we call it that.
Yeah, well, obviously, I got a defensive term named after me. So really, it's just you want to beat the guy you're guarding to the spot, and you'll go down. Some people called it a flop. I thought I took all of them, and they were great charges and should have been called for me. Yeah, it's pretty much once Connor, for say, drives right, I'm beating him to that spot and going down, taking it around the chest.
And he still does. He still takes charges in practice on scout team, which I'm surprised about.
I mean, a body on the line always. Competitor.
Yeah, I'll give you that 100% a competitor. We're going to switch things up a little bit to more Christmas themed as we're now getting into the holiday season. So do you have any uncommon or weird Christmas traditions that you either do now or when you were a kid, looking back?
Not really. My dad just used to kind of make us breakfast.
Okay.
We'd open some presents, and then we'd watch NBA basketball. So that was the big tradition, is just getting ready to watch LeBron for most of my life play on Christmas Day.
Well, that's a great segment because we were also going to ask about your Ohio fandom, Ohio State,
Yep.
the Cavs.
Yep.
Obviously, both having pretty solid seasons so far. You want to speak to your fandom there and what you expect out of Ohio State, the college football playoff?
Yeah, it's really championship or bust for,
Okay.
for the Buckeyes and football.
You guys got
this year.
a tough bracket there to get to the
bracket.
finals.
It's tough to beat a team twice, not overlooking Will Toney's Tennessee Volunteers. But I think we'll win that game at the Shoe. We'll get to go back west to Oregon. And thankfully that rule got changed, which let them win the last game that we played them. So I see a win there.
Okay.
And then it's really whoever is in front of us we'll kind of take down from there.
How about the Cavs?
Cavs, best team in the NBA. Young core, really excited about the way they're defending and the pieces they have. Mobley, Garland, Mitchell. I think we are poised to win a championship as well there. So
Nothing to do with the Boston Celtics then. Obviously, someone say they're the best team in the NBA, especially coming out of the East. It's quite the competition there.
no,
What do
they're
you
a good team. But they got to guard us too. So that's really all I have to say there.
Okay.
What about the best gift you've ever gotten for Christmas or given?
I'm a great gift giver.
Okay.
But as for the best gift I got, when I was like 6, I'd been asking for a dog for a couple of years, and we got a little puppy. So that was a very exciting Christmas.
You can't top that.
You really can't.
No.
So that was a good one. I didn't think we were going to get it. We got it.
Was it like wrapped in a box? How was that?
No, we
You
like
just
went to
saw
my
it?
aunt and uncle's, and I was really sad because like we obviously didn't get a puppy that morning. So we went to my aunt and uncle's, and there was a dog running around, and they were like, "That's yours," and I broke down in tears,
6-year-old Jack Gibbs.
crying.
It's a dog.
'cause he got a
What
puppy.
kind of dog?
It was a Jack Russell Terrier, and I named him Buddy. for
Buddy.
Ed.
Nice. Did you ever play basketball?
He tried. It's just a little small.
Not quite like
A
your
little
bud, huh?
small. No.
Okay. How about the best gift you've ever given then, if you're a self-proclaimed great gift giver? What goes into picking out a good gift for someone?
You got to know the person
Okay.
intimately.
Wow.
just friendship, platonically, obviously. I think one thing I like to do is I gave all my teammates when I was here little gifts.
Okay.
Like Andrew McAuliffe got a book because he's a reader. Some people got like board games. But yeah, you just gotta know people, and there are some fun ones that I gave out that I can't say on the podcast.
That's understandable. I've been trying to brainstorm what I'm going to get Sean Logan for Christmas, because we've got a Christmas tree put up in our place. I was wondering if you had any ideas about that. Obviously, you know
Alarm clock?
Maybe an alarm clock, yeah.
I don't know. He's probably a tough one.
He is a tough one because
buy for.
all he really does is go on his phone and play basketball. So maybe I really don't know. I've been struggling.
Maybe like one of those like eye massagers. I don't know why he would need it, but like I feel like that'd be a good one.
Yeah, I feel like he'd enjoy that.
It's like an eye mask massager.
Yeah. Okay.
I could see him liking that.
I got him this like headband thing that he can wear, and it's got little built-in headphones into it.
That's good. Yeah.
And he really likes it. Keeps him
You
comfy.
should get that from Mike, so he doesn't have the wired headphones anymore.
Isn't that Bobby? Bobby and Mike both have those wired headphones.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I might get them some AirPods too.
Yeah.
That'd be smart. But yeah.
They like those headphones though. They like stand by them. Like wired is better. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, change is necessary.
I agree.
In some aspects.
I agree. All right, with that, we want to thank Jack Gibbs for joining the podcast today. I know the listeners appreciate it. We appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you out, not on the court, but next to the court
Well,
for the rest of this year. On the court for Scout Team.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you on Scout Team.
Yep.
And that game's dressed up very dapper over there on the bench. So
Thank you. I try. Not as good as Josh. But
No.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
That's tough to top.
Actually, speaking about that, Josh came into the training room the other day before the game. Didn't know how to tie a tie. Had Justin come in. I just thought I'd mention it because he was a little bit upset that we were making fun of him for not being able to tie a tie. Came in and asked Justin to tie the tie for him. We were making a good amount of fun from that.
I don't think he doesn't know how to tie a tie.
Oh.
I'm not going to let you guys put that on there.
Oh.
Justin just does a really good full double Windsor.
Okay.
Not sure if that's what it's called, but it's a really great knot if you haven't seen him on the sideline. So it makes sense that he would want to go to Justin.
So Josh can tie.
Josh can tie a tie. Justin is unbelievably at tying ties.
Okay. Sorry, just had to add that little tidbit in there. Sorry, Josh. You probably don't listen to the podcast, but if you do hear it, my bad. But yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast. Great interview. And we have this gift card for you from our friends at Carburitos, so you can get a meal on them. Yeah, shout out Carburitos.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks for having
get
me.
on down there. Yep, for sure.
And that wraps up another episode of the Inside Out Show presented by Carburitos. We want to thank Jack Gibbs again.
Yeah.
We want to thank you all for listening. We want to remind you that stop by Carburitos at any time and mention Davidson Basketball or the Inside Out Show and get a free chips and salsa with any order of an entree.
Yep.
So with that, we just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and we'll see you next time on the Inside Out Show.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.